Hey, welcome into another edition of The Next Reel with Tyler Johns. I'm Lance Taylor. We talk a lot of movies. We're going to do another special edition screening for you guys. Today, we did this a couple of weeks ago with Jaws. Now we're going back, Steven Spielberg. We've got kind of an angle to this. You know, one of the guys that is typically on this desk in your chair and Ryan Brown has never seen the 1993 classic Jurassic Park, which is just mind-blowing. We've talked about this over and over again. So we're going to give him an opportunity to watch this while you and I are watching, and we're commenting on the 2-hour plus film.
Yep, it's. I'm excited to see what Brown thinks because, earlier today I said I was envious because he gets to hear that fantastic John Williams score for the first time and get to see classic moments of cinema played out for the very first time. I feel like you have to put in a lot of work to miss out on Jurassic Park.
Well, hey, there's a lot of correlations too. Not only Spielberg directing this, but just on set, a hurricane, problems with the dinosaurs, CGI. This was one of the first movies ever where CGI was utilized, but at the same time, it's the animatronics and there's puppets and there's just a lot of things. So we'll get into casting, budget, ins and outs of this film. You guys know it. You love it. It's the first time Ryan Brown has ever seen this. Let's jump into it right now. The 1993 classic, Jurassic Park.
All right, here we go. Jurassic Park, my first watch ever.
I've
never seen the movie. Let's see what we got.
I was there on June 11th, 1993 when it opened.
Wow.
This was one of those films, you get some kind of film like this hyped now, it is all CGI. But this was one of those a film that was really, really difficult to do. It had Spielberg attached to it. It was early 90s. This was a true summer blockbuster.
Definitely. Spielberg even said, I believe, that his goal for Jurassic Park was to be somewhat of a sequel to Jaws, but just have it on land. And even with down to the production issues, he did that.
Yeah. You mentioned John Williams, and, him and Spielberg collaborated from Jaws throughout. I think there's only 5 projects they've missed together, but this was a great soundtrack that drove me nuts because I did work at the Jurassic Park ride in the Hollywood Universal Studios in Los Angeles. So I had to hear this every day.
So it's a good ride.
So these noises here that you're hearing, so they got a combination of they used dog, tiger, alligator, and a baby elephant to come up with these noises.
Wow.
For the Velociraptor and the T-Rex.
I didn't know they used a baby elephant. I knew they used like a dog and then mixed that with a few other animals, but baby elephant is a wild choice.
I don't think many people knew about the Velociraptor up until this film, unless you're like a huge dinosaur person.
Mm-hmm.
And I, like most boys, grew up enjoying learning about dinosaurs. I really didn't know much about the Velociraptor. I think this movie propelled the Velociraptor into mainstream.
Yeah, definitely. It made the Velociraptor just a really cool dinosaur if you're, 8 years old when this movie comes out.
So in the book, Michael Crichton does the novel, and I think he wrote it in 1991, and immediately there's a bidding war, and we'll give you some people that were actually attached to the project before Spielberg took it. But it wasn't a Velociraptor. I don't even know it was like a Deantich. I can't even pronounce what it was in the book.
All right.
But they actually made it a Velociraptor because they thought it sounded cooler.
And it does.
Which it does, because I can't even pronounce the other one. But both Crichton and Spielberg agreed on that. And we wouldn't have the Toronto Raptors without this movie, right? There's no way.
No, I don't think you have the Toronto Raptors. I don't think, I guess you still have the Ford Raptor, but less cool. What else have we gotten since then that is Velociraptor heavy?
I'm trying to think on that. This is the moment where the power and the terror of the Velociraptor. Thought this was a great, let's get the intensity, much like Jaws. Chrissy swimming in the open ocean. You immediately learn how dangerous the shark is, and obviously, right here at Jurassic Park, the theme park, things go awry quickly, and kind of what you're in for the next 2 hours. I always thought this guy who is kind of the on-site game warden that knows the ins and outs of all of the animals and the creatures on site. I thought he was well cast because I still don't know who he is. And he's really the only, like, this is a really big ensemble cast before some of these names got big.
Yeah. Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Richard Attenborough, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson before a lot of people knew him. Wayne Knight, small role, which we'll get to this. This is, do you know the name of this actor that is coming up on the boat that is actually getting everything insured? That is Jonathan Pryce, English actor. Probably best known for doing Lexus commercials back in the day. Was also in Game of Thrones, though. The cool thing about this is it was filmed in Hawaii on one of the bigger islands. But they had serious set problems because of the hurricane. We'll give you more details on this. I just thought this whole premise is so cool. And there were different ways they were going to write this. I don't know if you heard Michael Crichton was going to do one where it was more of a story between, I forgot what, like a 12-year-old girl and a pterodactyl. There were so many bad ways that he was going to do this, and they perfectly lay this thing out.
That sounds almost like the plot of, I think it was Jurassic Park 3, where a kid gets stolen by a pterodon.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that that rejected idea for the original novel ended up showing back up a few movies later.
So this thing is so well done in 1993. Being able to draw the DNA out of a species that has been actually basically in a different state, but all encompassed, it was believable back then. And it's terrifying now because I would assume scientists can go out and replicate dinosaurs now, right?
I don't know if they've tried dinosaurs, but there was a company a few months back that made headlines for being able to somewhat resurrect the dire wolf from Game of Thrones.
That's a big-ass wolf, by the way.
Yeah, they are massive, about 2 or 3 times the size of some of the biggest Carpathian gray wolves. They're Game of Thrones size. You could ride one into battle, and they existed about 10,000 years ago.
So studio bidding began immediately when he published in 1991. So initially Warner Brothers wanted to sign on, and they wanted Tim Burton to direct this.
Oh, that would have been a misfire.
It definitely would have, because he would have tried to put his weird, and there's some Tim Burton that hits. I like Edward Scissorhands a lot. Mm-hmm. There's some Burton that hits. I don't think this would have hit. Columbia wanted Richard Donner from the Lethal Weapon franchise.
I could see Richard Donner doing a fun adventure in this sort of vein. I mean, Spielberg did help him out with The Goonies.
So James Cameron was really, really serious, but he wanted to do a very, very dark version.
Okay.
He wanted to do it more in the Aliens, the sequel to Alien.
That could have been very cool.
I agree. And, the interesting thing is he really wanted Charlton Heston to play John Hammond.
Okay. I could see it, yeah.
He wanted Bill Paxton for Ian Malcolm. And he wanted Arnold Schwarzenegger for Dr. Grant.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
This was James Cameron. So it would have been very interesting to see the direction. Spielberg had to settle on Sam Neill, and had to go to New Zealand to get him. And, unfortunately, Sam Neill just passed away last week. Mm-hmm. He's 78 years old and really an underappreciated actor. And I think this is the only movie he really got his maybe fame and glory on, the only really mainstream.
So. Yeah, because even Laura Dern, better known, I would say, for her work with David Lynch than this movie somewhat. Although this is an iconic role for her as well.
I think maybe I talked about this on the air or not. So Sam Neill tried to do this Dr. Grant in an American accent. He couldn't get it right. Kept misfiring, and finally Spielberg said, roll with it. I think it makes more sense that he's got his Kiwi accent here.
I think so too. Because John Hammond seems like the kind of guy that he would want to invite people from all corners of the globe as long as they knew enough about his project to give him the praise that he wanted.
Sam Neill, just so good in this role, so believable as a paleontologist. And so William Hurt was offered the role. He turned it down. Mel Gibson, Kevin Costner, Richard Dreyfuss, Robin Williams, all considered. Harrison Ford was offered the role. He turned it down. He thought it was too Indiana Jones-like. So eventually Spielberg, who had seen Sam Neill in Dead Calm, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, very good, with the Titanic James Cameron tie. Billy Zane plays the bad guy, Nicole Kidman. There's only 3 actors in the entire movie, but very, very good thriller done on the water, and he saw Sam Neill in that. Sam Neill was also in The Omen 2.
The Omen. Oh, yeah, I forgot they made a bunch of sequels to The Omen that are just not good.
This looks kind of like the kid from The Sandlot. You guys forced me, as we forced Brown to watch Jurassic Park, I was forced to watch The Sandlot recently, and it looks like one of the kids from The Sandlot. I don't know why.
I think it's how big the brim on his hat is.
Maybe.
It's just sort of just dwarfing his entire face. But I do like all the scenes where Sam Neill is explaining the dinosaurs to kids because, I mean, if you go to the McWayne Center or anything like that, it's a building full of Sam Neills trying to explain dinosaurs and weather to kids and get them interested in science.
So we see Dr. Ellie Sattler here in her Canadian tuxedo.
Yep.
All denim here. Here are the women that actually read for this role, which this is a crazy impressive list. And I think Laura Dern, again, when you have a classic like this, it's hard to go back and look at who could have been cast and could they have done it better. And it just, I mean, these guys meshed so well together. But Sandra Bullock, Gwyneth Paltrow, Julianne Moore, who ultimately goes and gets Jurassic Park 2, Laura Linney, Helen Hunt, Liz Hurley, all auditioned. But basically after Spielberg saw Laura Dern read for the role, he cast her immediately.
Yeah, that is the right decision. It's so hard seeing somebody like a Gwyneth Paltrow in this role or a Elizabeth
Hurley.
Yeah, that is so odd.
She can pull off the Patagonia shorts that she's running around the island with, but outside of that, I don't see Liz Hurley in this role. Now we are seeing Sir Richard Attenborough, who was cast as John Hammond. Michael Crichton, when he wrote this character, he said he saw a dark Walt Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Which you can kind of see, right?
Definitely.
Clint Eastwood, Marlon Brando were considered for this role. Sean Connery was offered the role and said no. Like, I think those personalities are a little too big for this.
Yeah.
Like Richard Attenborough, who's had a good, solid career, or had one, who's obviously passed away since. Like, this is the jovial billionaire that actually his passion project is, light years away from other people's passion projects.
Right.
But I just think he works so well as well.
Yeah, definitely more eccentric than just like weird or just menacing. And I feel like Marlon Brando would have almost made it sort of like Apocalypse Now-esque, where you can kind of tell he's the bad guy just from his delivery of all the lines.
Well, and where John Hammond is trying to pitch Dr. Grant, Dr. Sattler here, they don't want to bite. It shows you that everybody sells out for the right price.
Right.
Because what does he actually funds everything for, I forgot what the grant is he gives them, but it's something they absolutely can't turn down.
Right.
And doing it over champagne. And I love both paleontologists are just covered in dust. I would assume you live a dust all over world if you are in that space.
I would think so, yeah.
Much like Top Gun in 1986, and I think we've talked about this before, what that did for naval recruiting. I'm sure you've heard the stories, like people leaving the theaters, like the Academy actually set up shop outside of the theaters because people coming out, they would sign them up immediately. Everybody wanted to be a fighter pilot after watching Maverick and Top Gun. Well, this was the best thing that ever happened to people studying paleontology because the admissions went through the roof after this. I've even got one of my best friends in college. He lives in Seattle now. His son goes to Montana State, and because of Jurassic Park, he is studying paleontology.
Well, I mean, it's not all that surprising. I mean, it makes that job look really, really cool.
It does.
And we've seen plenty of other movies where people are spurred to make these impulse decisions right after seeing the movie. There was that influx of people adopting Dalmatians after 101 Dalmatians, not realizing that Dalmatian's a pretty tough dog to take care of.
Wouldn't you just assume that it would be a very, very boring occupation? Like you might find, a velociraptor's femur one day, after digging for 3 years. Like you're not going to get the excitement they get in Jurassic Park. I love this scene. So this is where we find out like the true premise behind, the DNA is obviously out there. Wayne Knight's character here, Dennis Nedry. And I've got an interesting casting situation on him. But I love their setup in Costa Rica. He's about to sell the secrets, shows how he's going to transport them. This is brilliant product placement by Barbasol.
Oh, yes. It is fantastic product placement. I mean, when I was at Universal, they had plenty of Jurassic Park merch that was just like Barbasol cans, or it would be a Barbasol can on a t-shirt, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how many people know that brand by name outside of Jurassic Park.
And actually, when he sprays the shaving cream here in a minute and puts it on the pie, it actually looks appetizing. I don't know how shaving cream could be appetizing on pie, but there's just something foamy about it. And of course, Wayne Knight is eating in this. There was only one other actor that was considered for this role. You will never guess in a million years, and they would have completely dicked this whole thing up if they would have cast him.
Who was it?
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah. Now, so what happened? Spielberg is sitting back at his house. He's watching Basic Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
He sees Wayne Knight. He had no idea who Wayne Knight was. I just assumed that he had seen Wayne Knight in Seinfeld.
So this came out in 93. I
don't know if he was
Seinfeld was 94, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. So I didn't know, but I just assumed Spielberg had seen him somewhere else. But Spielberg's watching Basic Instinct. He sees Wayne Knight and he's like, this actor is perfect for Dennis Nedry. And he said he had to wait until the credits rolled to find out the actor's name. And that's when they contacted Wayne Knight. Can you imagine getting a call from Steven Spielberg after watching you as this creep that is just like sweating, staring at Sharon Stone's crotch, and a complete flop of a movie? Now, this is our first taste of the very eccentric Jeff Goldblum, who was perfectly cast as Dr. Ian Malcolm. Jim Carrey was considered for this role.
Too over the top for that role.
Michael Keaton, I think, could have played it well.
I think he could have done that job well.
Johnny Depp is a complete weirdo, but I think if Burton gets it, he's probably Johnny Depp here.
Yeah, if Burton got the job, then Jeff Goldblum's role would be Johnny Depp, and Laura Dern's role would be Helena Bonham Carter.
Ted Danson and Michael J. Fox, they all read for this part. And then ultimately, and again, this is the brilliance of Spielberg, especially back in the 90s, being able to cast what is a well-known Hollywood actor, but not big enough, not too big for the part. Like the dinosaur is this movie.
Absolutely.
Like, and I think if you miscast, like I don't even think Samuel L. Jackson would have gotten this part if he would have been as big as Samuel L. Jackson post Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, because I think the only real big movie he had been in up to this point would have been Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, as far as and he like you
and he signed up for that movie under a fake name because he was underage.
I guess he was in Goodfellas too, as Stax.
Oh yeah, that's right, he was Stax.
Yep. So I'm trying to remember the island, and I've got this written down somewhere. The island in Hawaii where they actually filmed this. Beautiful. I just believed when I was watching it initially, it was in Costa Rica because the book takes place in Costa Rica, but I guess easier, or at least they thought it was going to be easier to film in Hawaii until they get a hurricane that rolls through here in a little bit, which again, will give you, some interesting ins and outs on that. I've never flown in a helicopter. You?
I have not. Don't know anybody who has flown in a helicopter, I don't think.
I know plenty of people that have flown in them. I heard it's very loud. Yeah. You need the noise-canceling headphones to put on. It just, not even bringing up the Kobe Bryant thing, but, I saw where they just settled with the helicopter tour company that actually, the Spaniard, his wife, and 3 kids were on it. It hit some birds. went into the Hudson last year. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that. No.
It seems like there's more helicopter accidents than you think. And this was a little dicey. Obviously, we couldn't have these guys go down before they get a gander at their first dinosaurs. Beautiful scene there with the waterfall behind it, though.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's just showing you, hey, welcome to paradise. We've got Jeeps that are logoed out, which, by the way, I've seen those Jeeps.
Yeah, in real life,
Yeah.
I've seen I've seen yellow and green ones that we'll see later. I haven't seen any of the gray and orange Jurassic Park Jeeps.
Just the subtle perimeter. And, the paleontologists are probably like, we probably got some big species in here if we've got to go to these links. But I just love how they're absorbing everything, and they really have no idea. Like, it's probably like a nervous queasiness in their stomach. Like, you study these species all your life, and you're like, are we about to see something? But I love the Jonathan Pryce character. He is just worried just about liability the whole time. That's all it is. And I guess that would be the problem with one of these parks. So Michael Crichton, who also, and eventually he settled on doing the script like this, or the book, I should say, and then they turned the script into basically what the book was. But it was like he wrote Westworld. And I know you watched Westworld on HBO.
I actually have never seen Westworld.
Oh, I think you would really like Westworld. At least
Okay.
the first 2 seasons, and then when they take it to the city, it's completely different. But they wanted that, for the rich, a place to play that was untouchable for anybody else. And, Westworld, the original book, you, I guess, got to choose between the Wild West, the Roman times, and medieval times.
Okay.
But and they created those worlds, and that's what he ultimately did here with Jurassic Park. Now, this is the first scene with the Brachiosaura. What is it?
Brachiosaurus?
Yeah. They said it was difficult to film because of CGI. There was no dinosaur there. So I think actors are really used to this now with the green screen, but this was the first of its kind. So you've got Laura Dern and Sam Neill reacting to basically nothing, because what we are seeing here is CGI.
Yeah, it's normally just like a tennis ball on a stick, just to give the actors an
I think
idea of placement.
They've mastered this a little bit now because they've done CGI for the last 30 plus years. But it was so new. These actors are like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what am I reacting to?
Mm-hmm. And then for more human-sized characters, they used to do the motion capture suit, the mocap suit, which was basically just like a morph suit covered in these little light bulb looking things. And looking at some behind the scenes footage of like Andy Serkis performing as Gollum, it's strange with those suits.
So I thought it was a good choice of, we're going to ease our way in. This is, I guess the biggest species of a dinosaur, but obviously it's the herbivore.
Yeah.
And just to see something that massive in the flesh. And of course, Jonathan Pryce, we're going to make a fortune on this place. And that's all you can imagine.
I mean, that would be a once in a lifetime opportunity to see something that's been gone for millions and millions of years.
Now, I think they know the danger here when John Hammond, they're talking about the species, and he's like, we just clocked a T-Rex at 32 miles an hour. And they're like, holy shit, you've got a T-Rex? That one puts Dr. Grant down to his knees, doesn't it?
I mean, if you're in their field and you've been working your entire life to find more evidence of these creatures, and then John Hammond just casually drops that they've not only got a T-Rex, but they've got the equipment to measure their speed as well. I mean, that's got to be a dream come true.
Put the old jugs gun on him. Is this something before the movie you think I would be all in on going to Jurassic Park?
What, you mean like going in real life to a Jurassic
like
Park?
if this was an option.
Yeah, I could see you doing this.
Yeah, I mean, would you do it?
I definitely would, yeah.
Yeah, I think I would too. The liability would be so high. Like if you did have access to this park, I wouldn't sweat it. Now, once you see the movie, you're like, holy shit, like some things can really, really go bad here. But this thing would have to be so airtight. And obviously that's what they're doing here. And I know we're being probably redundant on some of the things for people that have seen Jurassic Park a million times. I'll never forget, our buddy Charles Barkley, before the TNT playoffs, always hosted a big party before the 40 games in 40 days or however they did it. And it was one year at this big bowling alley, and I met this couple, and they had been married for like 5 years. Their favorite movie was Jurassic Park. They watched it on a monthly basis. They had like dogs named after some of the characters.
Okay.
They had all this gear, but it was like all they could talk about was Jurassic Park. Literally met this couple and all they talked about was Jurassic Park. So I think there are people out there, literally, it is their favorite movie of all time. I don't know where I would put Jurassic Park on my top list. It probably would be a top 50 movie for me.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if it'd be top 50 for me. I do love it, but probably top 100.
Okay, this movie runtime of 126 minutes.
Yeah, just about.
How many minutes do you think dinosaurs are actually featured on screen?
Ooh,
Because I've got this number
featured
for you.
on screen. Yep. I'm gonna go with 17 minutes.
Very close. 15 minutes of dinosaurs on screen. Now, only 6 minutes are CGI. The rest is the animatronics and the puppets.
Yep. And I mean, Universal's always done a great job with that. Whether it's on screen or in real life at one of their theme parks. And Spielberg, obviously, with the Jaws animatronic, things just keep getting better and better and better. And this movie still holds up. It's crazy how good it still looks today.
Yeah, got to be exciting to be part of this cast while they're filming, knowing in 1993 how massive this movie is going to be. Not only was this filmed in 1993, but also Schindler's List was.
Yep.
So it's very interesting that Spielberg, and he said, look, this was my most difficult professional year ever, having to balance. And the crazy thing, and I don't know if you ever saw this, so he's in Poland doing Schindler's List. They're back in Hawaii doing this. They had to rent 2 satellite channels through a Polish television station to be able to connect 24/7 to his assistant directors and everybody back on the production staff in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
And they were spending, this is crazy, $1.5 million per week on this SAT system.
That's insane.
But again,
to add to a
technology-
1993 budget.
Yeah, I mean, it shows
Wow.
you. The first time I went to New York City was in 2001, right after 9/11, in October of 2001. And I remember my roaming bill for one weekend in New York City was like $400 or $500. So I
Your
guess
first trip to New York was in October of 2001?
Yep.
Wow.
It was planned a
heck
long
of a time to
out.
go.
I know. Ended up working out though. Fantastic. But my point was going to be in 1993, like there really weren't even cell phones. I guess some people had cell phones.
I guess it would have been like those Wolf of Wall Street looking cell phones where it's
the brick.
the big brick that goes in
I
a
had one of those
suitcase.
bricks, but that was in like 96, 97.
Okay.
I just had it for a minute. Yeah, the Motorola, or I think it was Motorola. Maybe. Yeah, the big cream looking brick. But yeah, man, he had to, that's the only way they could communicate back and forth. So pretty wild, $1.5 million per week they were spending on that.
I think this little animated section showing you how they got the fossilized amber and made a dinosaur out of it. It really adds to the whole theme park idea because we've all seen stuff like this.
But I needed
You go to
this
vacation.
as just a viewer in 1993 to kind of tell me, like, dumb it down, give me the elementary layman version of actually how you're going to do this. And I do agree, because I think this would be a theme park thing, like from a 4-year-old to a 85-year-old, like dumb it down for them and show them exactly how it goes down. But it makes so much sense here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Fandango, they decided to do some back research on what it really would cost to open this park, and then what the annual cost would be. Just ballpark, what do you think Jurassic Park would take?
$3.2 trillion a year.
So it wasn't that bad, but they said it would be $23.4 billion to actually open the park.
Okay.
Because I think the cost probably would be more about the infrastructure, because I guess once you find out a way to clone these dinosaurs, like I don't know how extravagant that cost would be, but they said to operate it every year would be $12 billion. I don't know if you can make back $12 billion.
I don't think you are because, I mean, to do that, you would have to be marketing yourselves only to the the families of billionaires and royalty, Saudi royal crown and stuff like that.
Now, this is one of the, I guess, hokier parts if you watch it now in 2026, going back to 1993, where these are legitimate props and, they're the eggs and you see the little dinosaur cracking through. Now, when I saw it in 1993, I thought it was amazing. It still holds up to a degree, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I know the whole movie does, but I'm talking about even, the silly eggs and the baby dinos coming out.
Yeah, I would say this looks on par with the chest burster scene in Alien all these years later. Probably a little bit better than the chest burster. Holds up.
The chest burster scene still is.
It's
I think
great.
just because it's so immediate and the reactions are pretty incredible. Well, yeah, this is a baby raptor coming out here. Did you, so Leighton, not as much Jack, Leighton had the dino egg oatmeal that she ate.
Oh, yeah.
Did you eat that back in the day? Like the apples and cinnamon, but it had the little dino eggs in it?
Yeah, I had it a few times. I typically just got like the regular Quaker's oatmeal. They had like a fruit and cream variety pack, and I really liked the bananas and cream.
Okay, I was always the apple cinnamon, but this was pre the dino eggs. And you wonder, like, do you have the dino egg oatmeal without this movie? Like, I know dinosaurs were big before Jurassic Park, but never to this level.
The dollar store dino eggs that you put in the sink for 2 minutes, and then it hatches into a dino.
Yeah. And it's just a big piece of foam that comes out of a pill, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I thought another interesting similarity to Jaws was this movie won 3 Academy Awards as well, like Jaws. It was all for sound and editing, which you can imagine.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, the sound is great in this movie. And I remember, going to the theater, like, it was almost the over-the-top terrifying sound. Like,
I believe it,
powerful in the theater. This would have been a great IMAX film, right?
Definitely. This would be a great IMAX film, a great Prime film. When they did the Jaws re-release last year, they put it in the AMC Prime Theater, and I would love to see Jurassic Park in there because that is just the best way for anybody in the Birmingham area to watch a movie anyway, because we don't have the IMAX 70 millimeter.
Yeah, I watched, I told you, the Odyssey on the Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know what I really missed by not getting on IMAX. I mean, it looked like there wasn't a lot of things cropped out of it.
Yeah, so it really is only noticeable if you're looking at the 2 formats side by side. But IMAX 70 millimeter has a different aspect ratio, so you see more of the top and bottom of the frame. But unless you've got an IMAX 70 millimeter near you, not just a digital 70 millimeter, not just an IMAX 70 millimeter, then you get the cropped look.
So this is the cool part where Dr. Grant asked what kind of species is this, and the Asian actor, and I forgot who it is. I think it's B.D. Wong. Well, if I pulled that, I might have. But he was in Oz. He was in Law and Order. But he explains it's a velociraptor. And I think that's at the moment where Dr. Grant's like, oh, shit.
Good pull. B.D. Wong is Dr. Henry Wu.
But I think at that point, Dr. Grant's like, we probably have a problem. I love, like, people that have snakes, which I've never understood people owning a pet snake, but to each their own. You feed it the rats. Like, okay, we've got a T-Rex, or I guess this is the raptor enclosure.
Yeah, I think that's the raptor enclosure.
It's just a full bull.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big-ass meal, right?
Yeah,
and when they drop it, they just tear the ass out of this bull. But again, the sound, like, you don't need the visual of the raptor yet. Like, it's just terrifying hearing the sound. And much like Spielberg's genius with Jaws, and a lot of that was due to the fact of the shark Bruce that we talked about, the mechanical failures, it led him to do more of a Hitchcockian, where you don't see it until you see it. And I think he really, really did that well with these raptors.
Now we got the introduction of Robert Muldoon, the game warden.
Never liked the zoo colors, the all beige.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah.
I always wondered how that started too.
I don't know.
Is it just to be like sort of, I guess, heat resistant?
Yeah, I don't know what the purpose is because it's not like you're camouflaged in that, but it's
Right.
I don't know, but you go to any zoo across the world, and that's the uniform of choice, right?
Yeah. Don't know why.
I'll tell you, that's a beautiful island, though. Again, this was Kauai, I think, is the island they filmed it on. Now, we'll get more into this with the Wayne Knight, the pivotal scene in the movie where everything goes literally off the rails. But that was 3 weeks into filming is when Hurricane Aniki hit the island. 120-mile-an-hour winds.
Dang.
Yeah.
That is intense.
Yeah, pretty wild. But beautiful island. See, this would be part of the cost of the $12 billion a year.
Yeah.
Like, how much is to get up just to feed these two raptors every single day, and you got all this other stuff. I don't know what that dish was.
I think earlier
Was
they
it a
said
fish?
it was Chilean sea bass.
Okay, yeah, Chilean sea bass. You are right. Which is a really popular dish. I've never had Chilean sea bass. I'm not a big fish guy, though.
See, I love fish, but I never had Chilean sea bass. I don't know where I would order that.
So they're talking price point here. Again, Jonathan Pryce's character, who's the accountant, and is all about liability and being able to spin this into merch and everything. They were asking the price of admission. He said between $2,000 and $10,000 a day. Now that was in 1993. So what does that equate to now? Between $10,000 and $25,000 a day? Like, I don't know. I know you paid a lot of money to see your man Messi, not once but twice.
I didn't pay that much.
Yeah, I don't know who could afford this. The 1% of the 1%, but might be worth scraping together to be able to go see dinosaurs.
I mean, yeah. I mean, because that is a trip you take one time. You save up for years to do that, and then once you do it, you talk about it for the rest of your life.
Now, so Ian Malcolm, the mathematician that is brought in, to do the calculations, like he is making the most sense here, is eccentric and strange as he is. But he's basically talking about the fact that you guys have, he's talking about the responsibility of these, but you said it the other day where he's like, you might have done it, but you didn't think what the repercussions would be on the backside.
Yeah, it was. He's about to say it, but it's you only thought to you only considered what you could do, not what you should do. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yep. They didn't stop to think if they should. There it is.
Yeah. Look, and things are extinct for a reason, right?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes
it's almost like Pet Cemetery in a way.
Yeah, sometimes it's it's our own fault for overhunting or overfishing or not doing enough to protect the environment. And then other times you just got to say, well, why on earth would we want that around today? And what would its purpose be? What would the dodo's purpose be today? I mean, it's a flightless bird. It's going to be just to get hunted, and then it runs out. I really
don't think we were meant to coexist with dinosaurs.
Yeah, I think that would be a bigger issue than the dodo sticking around for sure.
As kids, we grew up watching the caveman run from the dinosaur, but I don't think they ever existed at the same time. Right?
I don't believe they did.
Yeah, I don't have my prehistoric history up to date, but this was my history for the prehistoric days, was just watching Jurassic Park and learning as much as I could possibly about Jurassic Park. And I always said, if you let one raptor into a crowded bar, how many people could make it out?
Gosh, I mean, how many exits does the bar have?
Right.
If it's one of those one entrance, one exit dive bars, not many if you're putting the raptor at the entrance. But if it's, something like a sky bar or something where you've got a big open balcony and you got doors everywhere, then you can get out.
So after the film wrapped, speaking of raptors, Steven Spielberg gave every actor a signed velociraptor. And to this date, Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern still have theirs displayed in their homes.
I believe, yeah, that makes sense that they would be the two that would
I
keep
would
it on
definitely display it, wouldn't you? I mean,
I
I'd
definitely
find a
would.
tacky room or whatever. I would have to have a Velociraptor from the original 1993 film that was gifted by Steven Spielberg and signed. This is the main lobby that makes its initial appearance here, and obviously for the final sequence, big spot for it. I just wanted to see what the layout was like. You know, you go to Disney World. I don't know if you've ever gone to Disney and stayed down there and all the different hotels. Like, I wanted to see what the hotels look like at Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's a good thing to note. Like, what are the themed pools like?
So
There's always a shaped pool.
The full wrapped Jurassic Park Explorers here. I always thought these were so cool. And like, this is big time technology. So they're looking at the display screen and how big are the display screens? It started with the Tesla. I know my Ram truck, when I had one back in the day, that was massive. But what is the inch on those screens now? Because that one's just a small one. But, you know, back in 1993, you're like, oh, that is so cool that you've got these computer images inside of your car.
I think the Tesla is like an 18 or 19 inch screen. So like pretty decent size, like what you would consider like a standard kitchen CRT TV size from back in the day. But I mean, that's massive in a car. I mean, it's bigger than a lot of laptops.
What do you think? So this obviously has been reviewed by critics for, 3+ decades. What do you think it's got on Rotten Tomatoes? And it just kind of hangs there.
I would say it's sitting at like a 93%.
91%.
Just off.
Yeah, probably a little low.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if I watched it now, like Ryan Brown's not going to be as blown away as we were, but it was a different spot in time.
And then
I've still never talked to anybody that's like, I didn't like Jurassic Park. Have you ever?
I've never met anybody who just outright didn't like Jurassic Park. Most people, I think, really got into it when they were younger. If you're my age, then it was probably like a VHS that your parents always had lying around, and you got into it that way. Or maybe it was a movie rental night.
So we're about to get to the hurricane, and Spielberg does use some of these hurricane shots because, I mean, when in Rome. The kid actors, I don't know anything really about the boy. I know the girl, the way she got cast is... Spielberg said she could scream better than any of the child actors.
Yes.
Like, it was so over the top. And here is Samuel Jackson. I loved his smoking a heater with a hot rock just about to fall out. I did not know who Samuel Jackson was, though. When I first went and saw this in 1993, I think he had just done Jungle Fever, I think. But, Samuel Jackson's got a fascinating, and he was a fascinating career arc.
Yeah.
And like how he came up, battled substance abuse and all that, and really was later in life before he really started to make his way in Hollywood.
Definitely. And then
I love the workers still like preparing everything outside.
Yep, all the scaffolding going on.
Now I will say the Jonathan Pryce character, the accountant here, drew the short straw, getting stuck in the car with both the kids.
Yep. He deserves what's coming to him later, though.
Yeah. And I love Jeff Goldblum getting thrown in there with both Sam Neill and Laura Dern, not knowing that they're dating.
Oh, yes.
But he does shoot his shot, doesn't he?
He definitely tries.
Okay, the voice you're now hearing, Richard Kiley. I thought this is really interesting. So Richard Kiley's a big Broadway actor. And in the original novel, Michael Crichton made Richard Kiley the voiceover actor that is actually giving the tour. Well, Spielberg saw that and he's like, I've got to hire him to do this voice over here. So the voice you're hearing right now is actually Richard Kiley of Broadway fame.
Oh.
So a little consistency there from Spielberg. And why not, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really cool nod to the book and just a way to make it more authentic to the source material.
And back to the true theme park or zoo theme, like you go to some of these exhibits and you can't see the animal and you're so pissed off. And so this seems like such a dud. You know, the first couple of exhibits they go through, they're like, son of a bitch, I don't see anything.
I mean, Animal Kingdom, I felt like was the worst. You've got to be real strategic when you go on that Animal Kingdom safari, or you won't see a thing, because animals will either be trying to escape the rain in Florida, escape the sun in Florida, or just not be anywhere near there. It might be feeding time too.
It amazes you people still get out of their cars, because you'll still see those videos of somebody getting drug off by a line or something.
Yeah.
Like, the last thing I'm going to do if I am driving through something like that is get out of my car.
Yeah, even if I'm at the drive-through safari that's like, I think near Montgomery, but I wouldn't dare get out of my car and interact with any of those animals.
Okay, so did you ever partake in a Jolt Cola?
A what?
Jolt, Jolt. I think that is what Wayne Knight's character is drinking right here.
And that's a real soda?
Is it not a Jolt? I'm trying to see what it is. Maybe it's not. But I mean, this is just like great casting, because he looks like somebody that would sit at their monitor and just eat all day. And he's just snacking. I thought it was a Jolt Cola. Anyway, it was like over-the-top caffeine. I don't even think I ever had a Jolt.
I've never heard of Jolt. That's why I didn't know if it was a real soda.
I think they outlawed them a little bit, but like, this is literally the calm before the storm. You kind of see the storm brewing, and like how many different things could possibly go wrong. But they are up on the T-Rex exhibit right now, right?
Yep, they're coming up on the T-Rex, and I believe, I forget what the circumstances were for the T-Rex coming out and being there at this time.
Okay, so
or something.
This T-Rex apparently weighed 15,000 pounds, which equates to 7 tons.
Wow.
So they had to be very careful with the animatronics. It was 25 feet high. They wanted to make sure that nobody was ever in the way of this when it was moving, because it literally would have crushed somebody.
Yeah.
I do think how
deep
Ian
thinking about Jeff
Malcolm, his
Goldblum.
dialogue is probably the best in the movie.
It's really good.
Yeah. And by the way, he ends up dating Laura Dern in real life. So I think Jeff Goldblum is a self-admitted dog. He loved the chase back in Hollywood. And this is one on set that he was able to close the deal on. So this is where they're teeing up the goat, right, for feeding time. I never understood why the raptors get the big-ass bull and the massive T-Rex only gets the goat.
So that's what I was just thinking about that, and I wonder if it has to do almost with the Jeff Goldblum little speech we got there about God creates man, then man destroys God, then man creates dinosaur. That whole thing he just went through, because a goat is typically like considered a sacrificial animal, and it wouldn't make much sense logically in the narrative for a T-Rex to be fed a goat, a single goat, and then 2 raptors to split that big old bowl we saw. So I wonder if that's a intentional sort of reference there. Or callback, rather.
We see Dr. John Hammond here that is so depressed because he thinks everything is just dudded out because they are seeing nothing. I always wondered during this where he hides out the whole time.
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Because he never seemed to be in the line of fire.
No, I think, was he during the end sort of in danger?
Maybe. Yeah, this is probably the longest I've gone without seeing Jurassic Park. I don't know. I've probably seen this movie 10 to 15 times. You?
I would say probably less than 10, more than 5, somewhere in that neighborhood.
But it's one of those that I normally see every couple of years. Love, like you do, introducing movies to people, but this is one of those that's impossible to introduce because everybody's seen it.
Well, impossible until today.
Until today, yeah. And boy, we've been working on this one for a while. So this is where they see the Triceratops.
Mm-hmm.
And it is sick in the wild. This is pretty interesting because this is animatronic. Most of the dinosaur shots were filmed in LA, but this was actually filmed on location in Hawaii.
Okay.
Where they're about to get out of the vehicle to go tend to it to see what's wrong with it. The interesting thing here, and I'll get more into it when he gets out. Well, he is working her hard in front of her boyfriend.
He is shooting his shot.
Yeah, but Dr. Grant doesn't care. He's like, more important shit's going on outside of the car. I got to get out here. So as car's moving, Dr. Grant, Dr. Sattler both get out, and there is the mathematician, Ian Malcolm, just along for the ride solo.
Kind of wild that they were able to create these auto-driving cars, or I guess it's on a track, with all this video equipment, but they couldn't make sure to keep the doors locked while it was moving.
Right. And Wayne Knight's character, too, like his desk, like the filth around the bottom of it.
Oh, my gosh.
Like a
And all
full
the
bag of
wrappers,
Reese's.
yeah.
Just knocked the ass out of them.
It looked like those were Reese's Pieces.
So the
Little reference to
Triceratops
E.T.
here that we are going to see, and you see it's really sick. So a 12-man job to actually work this thing. They had 8 puppeteers below with cables and 4 on the backside inside of like a door that was actually in there. This thing is much more massive than you think it is because this is a 12-man job to actually make this dinosaur work, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, we're losing that level of talented puppetry, unfortunately.
Well,
animatronic work.
I hate to say there's no need for it. Like, I do give Christopher Nolan a lot of credit for the way that he did some of the Odyssey as far as like trying to build out these models. But yeah, you see it here, man. Like in Dr. Grant finally gets to touch a dinosaur, an orgasmic moment for him. But yeah, 12 people to actually get this thing. But this did a great job, like the breathing sequences and everything about it. Like, to me, this still looks real. Like, this is better than what you would do with CGI. I think
1000%.
CGI, you would dick this up, right?
1000%. They've tried in more recent Jurassic Park movies to recreate this feeling, like with the Brachiosaurus walking through the jungle. They tried recreating that scene in the most recent Jurassic World movie, Jurassic World Rebirth, and it looks like garbage in the new movie because it's entirely CGI. And I mean, we've given Project Hail Mary praise for having those levels of performances, and I think part of that is because the Rocky alien is a puppet that's just being enhanced with CGI. And so these actors actually have something to work off of, and you know, it shows up as tactile on screen. We can see the textures and ridges in this dinosaur, and you can't say that for something like, I don't know, Rocket Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy.
I always thought it was so disgusting. Laura Dern pops like a pus off the tongue of the Triceratops. I've always had a problem with the pronunciation of dinosaurs, by the way.
Yeah, there's some difficult ones. Triceratops, probably one of the easier ones to say, and also my favorite dinosaur of all time.
Well, the pterodactyl's easy to say, and it's not even pronounced right? Like, if you phonetically tried to throw that thing out.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a tough one. A lot of people do try to pronounce the P.
Okay, so this is where I guess they're explaining, like, and this is one of the problems, like, bringing dinosaurs back because they're not used to some of the poisonous plants that didn't exist when they existed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
these are the small little nuances that a lot of people don't think about, right?
Yeah.
So they know storms coming here. Again, this was a true hurricane that rolls through. Now, this was part of the script. This wasn't like written in because a hurricane came, but they did take advantage and use some of the footage from Hurricane Aniki that actually rolls through 120 mile an hour winds. I don't know the strongest wind you've ever been in, but like when I lived in Kansas, like sometimes it would get up to 45 mile an hour winds because, you know, Kansas obviously is so flat on the plains. And 45 miles an hour is like disorienting. 3 times that, I think that shows you the destruction that a hurricane
terrible.
can bring.
And now they're looking for traces of lilac berries. And
that is a pile of shit.
Yeah. It's a large pile.
I always thought it was pretty massive. You know, we were in New Orleans last weekend and watching the mounted police and the horses, the piles they can drop. But seeing these piles of shit from these dinosaurs, that's a lot. Yeah, everything about this world, though, really is, at least in 1993, very, very believable.
Oh, yeah.
And you wonder how, like, a character that obviously is portrayed as being a computer nerd, Wayne Knight's character, how could they forget some of the smallest little... You just got a couple of jobs to do, right?
Right.
So they know the storm's coming. Don't think they really have any idea what's involved with it.
Nope, they are focused on helping out this Triceratops.
Okay, these are the true footage scenes that you see the hurricane coming up. This is where Spielberg had, part of the crew go out and actually get these shots.
That's insane. That would never fly today.
No, with liability.
Never. Got 120 mile an hour winds. They are not sending out the full cast and crew.
This is pretty crazy. So they were really nervous about this because, again, it was pre-cell phone. So they had it. This hurricane hits all the sets. They have a producer gets aboard a Salvation Army plane that is actually able to take them to a payphone in Honolulu. And once they're in Honolulu, they're able to radio back everyone in LA and try to get everybody back safely. And it was pretty crazy because Spielberg, when he's doing these shots, he got the cast and crew to go into the main ballroom of the hotel they were all staying at. And the only person that wouldn't go to the ballroom to, quote unquote, hunker down for more of a safe space was Richard Attenborough. And Spielberg actually came to him and he was like, for the safety, we need you to get in there. And he was like, the quote was, "My dear boy, I survived the Blitz. I'll be fine."
Yeah.
And Spielberg was like, "Salute, I'm out. All good." So
Newman
there's the stopwatch that our man has just put on there, and here comes the rain. And Ian Malcolm has busted out the flasks there. Really cool scene coming up here, or at least a shot that's got a little history to it. Does Ian Malcolm talk about how many times he's been married?
I don't think he says how many times, but he says he's always on the lookout for the future ex, Mrs. Malcolm.
At least he knows his limitations, right? I always thought this was so cool where they kept the embryos.
Oh, yeah. Samuel L. Jackson lighting up another heater.
Yeah, and I think this shows you in 1993 different world. Over the weekend, we were talking about, your generation is bringing smoking back a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Which I think is just absolutely insane, but whatever. But we were talking over the weekend, when we would go in a restaurant, it was smoking, non-smoking, or first available. And like, even if you would get non-smoking, there was a chance you were going to be back to back with the smoking section. I always just went first available. But I think it shows you, man, like people used to smoke on planes, and where Samuel Jackson's just busting out that Zippo and just lighting cig after cig. Back in 93, they didn't care. You could basically smoke everywhere.
I feel like smoking and non-smoking, changing that was somewhat recent, at least during my lifetime, to fully change it over, because I remember going into Waffle House for breakfast and they would ask smoking or non-smoking.
It's crazy. So, his character here getting the embryos out into the Barbasol can. I just always thought to myself, like, how's he going to get away with this? Like, he can't. There's only so many samples of these different species, and
Right.
he's just ripping them right off the rack.
Yeah, that's definitely something you are not getting away with for long. Like, I mean, he's going to sell the company secrets and then
What was
get
Dennis's
paid.
relationship to John Hammond?
I forget. It's a good question.
But I mean, they were related somehow, right? Because he seemed pissed off about what he wasn't getting. Or maybe I read into that wrong. I don't know. I
I'm
thought there
not
was
sure.
some kind of relation between John Hammond and Dennis here. Now, I was told by my buddy, Wade Welch, his son that studies the paleontology at Montana State, that this character that gets, or the species that gets a hold of Wayne Knight here, is very sensationalized.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Don't even know if it existed. But, I mean, how many dinosaur connoisseurs are there out there, right? Like, that really would know. Like, you could create a species, I would have no idea.
Oh, yeah, and this franchise ended up doing that several times over, creating new species and merging these different dinosaurs to make new hybrid dinosaurs. Some of the later movies get really wacky, but
I think it was Jolt Cola. I think I saw a Jolt bottle. Did you check and see if Jolt Cola was prevalent in Jurassic Park?
let's see.
I think it was part of the product placement there. I know they sold a shit ton of Jeep Wranglers after this movie.
I'm sure they did.
It was interesting. I was actually in a Jeep Wrangler when this movie was actually made.
So it is the drink of choice for Dennis Nedry, and the slogan was "All the sugar and twice the caffeine." It was the ultimate fuel for late night programming and tech nerds in the 1990s.
I think the FDA had to pull it. I don't think Jolt's out there anymore. I think there is a limitation now, even with all of these energy drinks. I could be wrong on that, but I haven't seen Jolt in forever. And when you would think with the consumers now, they want as much caffeine as they can possibly get.
It's a revamped high-performance energy drink. So I guess it's not like a
So they
regular...
don't call it a soda anymore?
Yeah, I guess it's not even really
It's
a
not
soda.
a pop. It's a energy drink. So the worst case scenario there for Dennis there, he runs the sign over and has no idea. This is back before GPS and even, MapQuest, any of those. Probably should have known the island a little bit better though, right?
You would think they would, that it would be like mandatory training for you to know the island like the back of your hand, just in case some of the computer stuff goes out.
Yeah, like the first
So
2 or 3 trips. Like, we were in St. Martin. We were staying in this villa and you had to go down into town and you would take these lefts and rights. And it was mass chaos, third world country with people driving, just all over the place, like wild. But like after the second or third time, you kind of knew your way around the island. So if we're going to pick this thing apart, that is one of the things that I didn't understand is like, I get he runs the sign over, but he still should be able to back up and know I'm going to take a left or a right.
Right.
Okay, this is a really cool scene. So you got the infrared, which this is where they steered us wrong, though, as far as like dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, they can't see you unless you're moving.
Yeah, and that's
all
not
that.
true.
Yeah, that is not true at all.
Now, I don't know who actually, was able to run in front of the T-Rex and know that it wasn't just movement, that they could actually see you or but yes, this was a false narrative of the film that if the T-Rex didn't see you move, as long as you were still, you were fine. That was not true.
No. And I mean, imagine just like how that would work in the T-Rex's daily life, like hunting.
This is the shot I was going to tell you about. So you see, and this is one of the cooler shots where you've got the vibration of the still water because the T-Rex is coming. So Steven Spielberg always wanted to put this in one of his movies. He's sitting at a red light and he has got a cup of water in his car. He's listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire, heavy bass. And it's actually, it's got that and he always wanted to do that. So he implements it here in the movie, which
it works beautifully in the movie
but
too.
Spielberg, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Did he say which song it was?
He did not. I'd probably September if I'm guessing.
That was my go-to for
Let's Groove, maybe.
Yeah.
It's one. I mean, they're considered an R&B jam band. I can listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire greater than 99 out of 99 cases over a Fish or a Grateful Dead to me.
Yeah, easily.
So Lamb Leg just went up, and I mean, this T-Rex does look a little hokey.
Yeah, that one's not the best looking dinosaur we've seen so far. I wouldn't go so far as to call it hokey, but doesn't hold up quite as well as the Triceratops, the Brachiosaurus, or the Velociraptors.
So the accountant has taken off, and he has left the kids. And he is now in the uppity outhouse that is right there on property. I don't know what I would have done in that situation. You don't want to leave the kids, but I'm not going to go sit on the shitter and just assume that this dinosaur is about to bust out of its enclosure and he's not going to come after you.
Yeah, like being a sitting duck isn't exactly the best strategy there, but I don't know. Wouldn't want to run out in the open either.
The popping of those cables, that part of that sound that ended up ultimately winning an Academy Award, just very, very intense. And again, the T-Rex roar, the blend of a dog, tiger, alligator, and a baby elephant. Like, I don't know how you come up with that, but most of these sound guys that are out there grabbing sound are, walking around everyday life, and they back in the day, I don't know how they do sound anymore. You might, they would actually record a train coming by, or a car door slamming, and obviously you didn't have access to a Velociraptor, so like, what are really intimidating sounds? Let's put them all together, and it worked. I mean, sounds like a damn T-Rex to me. Yep,
those Foley artists still do the same thing. They still, they'll pick out different items and just see what sounds they can make with them. Like for the famous Psycho shower scene, it was a cassava melon, specifically a cassava. Alfred Hitchcock tried a variety of different melons to see what would give him the best stabbing sound, and he went with the cassava.
That is really interesting. The honeydew wasn't good enough.
Honeydew, cantaloupe, regular old watermelon. He didn't like it.
Are you a melon fan?
I like watermelon, but not a fan of honeydew, cantaloupe, some of the other melons.
Honeydew's okay, but both watermelon and cantaloupe, when they're like perfect, they can't be too ripe, and they can't be obviously not ripe enough. But that perfect sweet spot, I love both. But I don't even know the other melon you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a cassava in person.
Don't know. I know they make the edibles in like the elderberry and like all the weird, but I haven't seen anything like that pop up. What is an elderberry, by the way?
It's what that guy in Monty Python and the Holy Grail smells like.
Elderberries. Yeah, this is a terrifying scene where, kids just get really lucky on how the glass falls, where T-Rex bite circumference can't actually get in there. But boy, just playing around with the Explorer there.
Yep.
I love how he spits the tire here in a second. Just pops it off. Yeah, I don't know what you do in that situation. If you're Ian Malcolm or Dr. Grant, I guess you just...
You tell the kids not to play with the flashlight. That's how this all started.
Yeah, you're right.
They were fighting over it and flashing it back and forth.
Yeah, at this point, I'm concerned that I'm actually going to suffocate in mud, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely a worry. Because there's only so far up you can go once that car starts to sink.
Dr. Grant saves the day. This was, again, a little misleading when he throws the torch flame, and well, that's where Ian Malcolm messed up, right? He had him going one way, and he's going to take him the other way.
Mm-hmm.
So this was improvised by Jeff Goldblum's character, the unbuttoned shirt. And I don't know if you noticed, but he loses like a button every scene. It just gets, it's more and more chest that Jeff Goldblum shows. He got really lucky there, getting thrown out of the way and basically knocked unconscious. And this is where the T-Rex sizes up the accountant and good night.
Toilet.
Ooh, that was the first like, oh my God moment where, somebody just gets basically bitten in half. This is obviously not part of the hurricane scene. This is manufactured rain with everything else. There's the scream from the young girl that got her this part. That's a big ass foot on the T-Rex too.
Oh yeah, such a good shot of just the foot as well.
Like, what is the biggest animal we've got out there now?
Maybe
Is it
like
an
a blue.
elephant?
I was gonna say blue whale.
Yeah. I guess land-based.
Land based, probably the African elephant if I
Yeah.
had to guess.
I mean, just nothing to how enormous these creatures were.
Mhm.
Again, this one's 15,000 pounds, at least the model they've put together here. It would get wet back to a Jaws parallel, and that would stop working.
Oh no!
Yeah. So multiple times this T-Rex went down during production because it would get wet. And there really, with this scene, there was no way to avoid it getting wet.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, man, that's a rough issue to fight through during this production. Because I mean, everything has to go perfectly to end up with what you see on screen. And just imagine having to stop a take and then get your crew to repair the giant T-Rex animatronic and then try again to maybe get it.
See, this is the excitement, though, of the summer blockbuster where you've got, the unbelievable Dr. Grant with Kid on back rappelling down the wall and able to get out of the way of the falling explorer that just misses him.
Yeah, I don't understand how someone could not like this movie. It might not be your favorite. It might not be, quite your cup of tea, but as far as just saying it's bad or not liking it outright, it's unbelievable to me that this is a true 4-quadrant movie.
Yeah, by the way, they said the T-Rex of all the dinosaurs had some of the best vision. So back to it not being able to see if you kept still, not true. The ultimate hunter. Maybe that was a confusion. I did know this John Hammond's grandkids, but I don't know why I thought the Wayne Knight character had some kind of relation to him. Maybe an adopted son.
Could have been something in the book that didn't translate to the movie.
Yeah, this is, we can't get Jurassic Park back online until we find Dennis. Dennis running wild with the fogged up glasses. I mean, going 90-0 in that damn Jeep. And this is when he meets his demise. I can't imagine the terror. I don't know if you've ever been like in a certain wilderness. Like the only example I can give is when I was in Montana and just going on hikes in Montana, knowing that the odds are in your favor that you're not going to have the encounter. But if you come across a grizzly, being in Jurassic Park, like with a broken down car or a Jeep that you can't get out of the mud, like I don't know what you would do in that situation. I mean, you would just be terrified.
I mean, I guess you wait out the storm in the car. And
he loses his glasses. So, T-Rex, good vision. Wayne Knight in this situation, terrible vision.
Yep. He is going full Velma from Scooby-Doo here. And it's going to bite him. Literally.
Yeah, this is a little diabolical. Again, I don't think this is a true species of dinosaur. But I did like them interjecting this one because it literally has flair, right? He's trying to pull out the winch here. Seems like a great idea until this, about a 5-foot dinosaur with some big-ass teeth comes creeping up. Wayne Knight did play this role really well.
He does such a good job in this role.
I don't even know what he does now. Is he in anything like moving forward?
Not that I can think of. I assume he probably did some Curb stuff.
I never saw him in Curb.
Really? Okay. Wow. That was I felt really confident in that guess.
Is this foreshadowing when he calls a dinosaur dumb? I'll show you dumb, fat man. Tries to get it to play fetch, throwing a stick to it. It does take off for a second, I think, when he throws the stick, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does.
Nah, maybe
Nope.
not.
Not at first.
I'm going to run you over when I come back now. Yeah, just taunt the dinosaur. Dinosaur will get his pound of flesh here in a minute.
Oh yeah.
Or pounds, I should say, with the Wayne Knight character.
Yeah, that's quite a few pounds of flesh.
I'd be terrified, man. Like,
Ooh.
oh, this is when he spits in his eye, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got to go back and check this out, but I don't think that's a real.
I don't think so. I think that's
Because that causes paralysis. Whatever he spit in his eyes.
yeah, I don't know if that's a real dinosaur. I guess the design of that one's more based on like the bearded lizard that you'll often see like out in the western United States that puffs out its neck. And those are, I think some of those are poisonous, but I don't think it's quite the level of this guy.
Yeah, how he got in the damn Jeep with him, but just tears the ass out of him. You know, immediately when you see this, you're like, sequel, because the Barbasol can falls out of his pocket, it rolls down the hill, and then it is covered immediately in mud. And you're like, I don't know what's going to end up happening here, but I can see the sequel where they dig out the can of Barbasol, and you've got the species that are kept insulated there forever. I thought this was well done with the explorer in the tree. Just like when moments can't get tense enough, it's just non-stop shit going bad for the crew here.
And the girl who plays Lex does such a great job of just conveying that just that panic feeling.
So budget on this, and put this in perspective, $63 million in 1993.
That's quite a lot of money.
I mean, what was the Odyssey?
About 250
Probably about right
Yeah.
then, right?
is probably around the same.
Yeah, probably about. Now, this thing ended up doing $913 million. It's the highest gross ever. At least at one point it was.
Yep. Now that's been overtaken by stuff like Avengers
Avatar.
Endgame, Avatar. Yeah. Because Avengers Endgame brought in 2.1 billion, I believe.
This finally has topped $1 billion. Which, and obviously it will just continue to go up, but you know, and that's one of those, much like the Odyssey, I guess you know immediately it's going to make money.
Yeah. Yeah, when there's a new Jurassic Park movie, you already know it's making money. Like Jurassic World Rebirth. It was awful. Terrible movie. Wouldn't recommend anybody watch a second of it. But that made bank because it's a dinosaur movie. And people are going to go see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would have stayed in the tree. I mean, the only dinosaur you worry about in the tree, you don't really, because it goes back to the Brachiosaurus.
Oh, yeah.
And they only eat plants, right?
Yep.
I think I would have stayed in the tree. Hard to sleep in the tree. If you have one of those jump moments, you end up falling.
Well, I think the Explorer was already starting to slide out.
Yeah, I'm just saying I would have tried to post up somewhere in a tree.
Yeah.
I don't know what tree I would have found, but no thank you being on the ground anywhere.
So I looked it up. The Dilophosaurus, which was that frilled neck dinosaur, was a real dinosaur, but did not have the frilled neck or the acid spitting poison stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we definitely sensationalized that dinosaur.
definitely. But when you do this good of a job with the rest of the film, you can do what you want.
So would you drive the Explorer as is if you could have one right now, completely wrapped Jurassic Park like?
Oh yeah, I'd whip that around town. That or one of the Jeeps, I'd be happy with.
I mean, it's this sequence though, like just as quick as they can get down the tree, but every branch breaking behind them with the Explorer, coming down, and then last second they're able to get out.
And it tips over, and looks like they managed to dive under the back seat there.
That thing is beat to shit and back.
Oh yeah.
I think that's full total, right?
Yeah, I don't think I don't think insurance will say that you should get that repaired.
So this is the guy that I would want with me, the game warden. I forgot what his official title is, but he shows up with Laura Dern, and they're looking for the party that is busted up. I think they find Ian Malcolm here, and you'll see another button has been removed from his shirt. I don't think there's any remnants of the accountant that is found. Oh, well, yeah. They found something. Do you even worry about a rain jacket at this point?
At that point, no. And I've never understood why people are so about their rain jackets.
Okay, how many buttons did he, like, when he got blown into that, there's no way his buttons blew off.
I mean, he is missing like every button.
Yeah, he was already working Laura Dern. He's like, I'm going to lay here. I'm going to show her how hard I've been working. The old brochures. Do they still do brochures for theme parks?
Yeah, they still do some. There are more digital ones, but I do see them at hotels still.
Okay, well, I was going to say it was a big thing growing up. Like, back before, and, we'd stay at shitty hotels, and you'd have a concierge, and you would see these pamphlets, and you'd go get the pamphlets and go through them and try to find the coolest thing to do in town.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Jurassic Park needed that, because I would think that is a destination. Like,
yeah.
We're flying into Costa Rica.
Yeah. Isla Nublar, I believe, is the island off of Costa Rica that it's supposed to be in this film.
Yeah, so Ian Malcolm, I forgot, he bust up the leg pretty good, but he's out of commission. Like, he is really at the mercy of whoever's got a hold of him now.
Great shot with the ripples in the puddle below him.
I think that another goes back to the Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think it's so well done. But I also found it interesting that he talked about, we clocked a T-Rex at 35 miles an hour. So now you get to see it with the Jeep, hammering down, and it's, it's full tilt here. Really comes close to catching them. And hey, that's a great shot, too.
That is amazing.
Objects in Mira seem closer than they really are. And then having the T-Rex come up on it. Yeah, perfectly done there.
I'm going to be mad at Brown if he didn't enjoy this. Because I'm enjoying this without sound.
Yeah, I think it's almost impossible to watch this and not, and at some level. But again, I think he thought Jaws was boring, I think. Yeah.
Oh, that might be the worst take he's ever had about anything.
It might not be Brown, but I think he thought Jaws was kind of boring. So, like, they just got away from T-Rex. I know they got this problem. They got to go back and get the kids, but I'm like, get me off this damn island.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I think when they eventually get back to, like, the main compound, they try to get off the island, but because of the storm, you've got to wait on this boat to be able to get out there. It was something like that. Because I can't remember which one it is, but they want off the island immediately.
Now, this is all filmed on set in L.A. So this was probably post, maybe. That's a big-ass prop to build that tree.
Yeah.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that tree seems big enough, like you might be able to camp out in that. And, of course, I'd be worried about spiders, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. you don't know what kind of other sort of megafauna are around. Like, I mean,
I don't think we're meant to be outdoors all the time, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the mosquitoes too. Got to be some snakes there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no bueno. Now, Dr. Grant trying to make dinosaur noises never made any sense to me, but he did get their attention. And they got a shit ton of those.
Oh, if those are those are all the herbivores, so I feel like you can stack the park with those and be all right. Like you can have 5 different Triceratops exhibits.
But that's the Brachiosaur, right?
Yeah.
Again, I butcher these damn dinosaur names. I like simplicity. I like the raptor and I like the T-Rex.
Yep, I believe T-Rex in Latin is king lizards, or king of the lizards, rather.
Was that the wrong time to pull out the Velociraptor claw there?
Yeah,
and
I think so.
Timmy and Ellie, he's trying to nestle in and comfort them and tell them, hey, it's going to be okay. And then he pulls out a damn Velociraptor claw, which is about 6 inches long. And
good joke there. What do you call a blind dinosaur? Do you think he saw us?
I've got a couple of dinosaur jokes.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's hear them.
You want me to fire away?
Go for it.
I'm trying to phrase this one properly. Let me think on a way to phrase it to be somewhat politically correct.
Okay.
I can't think of a way to do it. And so there's the merch store. Boy, they would have sold the shit out of it. I'm telling you. Like,
Universal does.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I mean, you go to that place we worked at Amazing Pictures at the Jurassic Park exhibit, and I mean, it was just nonstop. And they charge a fortune for everything.
Oh, yeah. You wanna get the picture of you on the Jurassic Park river ride? That'll be $40 for this decorative frame.
So the restaurant that we worked at, so we were outside of the restaurant. So of course they made you walk through it, walk through the gift shop to get out. But the restaurant the decor was just like that, which never really looked comfortable to me, but it did mimic exactly what they had the layout for the dining room in the park. John Hammond goes and eats a bunch of ice cream. He's, I guess, eating his stress. Are you a stress eater?
I'm not a stress eater. I'm actually the opposite. If I'm like super anxious, super stressed, even the smell of food will sometimes make me nauseous. Like even if it's just like a real mild scent. Like one time the smell of bananas got me.
Okay, here we go. If Ellen DeGeneres was a dinosaur, what kind of dinosaur would she be? And
I don't know.
Lickalotopus.
Ah.
Yeah. I found my way there. I'm getting the nod from Forrester in the back. It's so bad.
I feel like she's one of the few people you could be just like openly offensive towards because she's just had such a fall from grace that nobody cares. Yeah. Like, you offended Ellen. Too bad.
Are you more sorbet? Are you more yogurt or straight up ice cream?
Probably more just regular ice cream. Love a good homemade vanilla flavor.
I do like soft serve though, you know?
Yeah.
There is something about that. That's why I think they've always done a really good job with the frozen yogurt.
Oh, yeah.
But I do like just original ice cream.
Where they get you with the frozen yogurt is they trick you into putting all those toppings on there. And then not only are you overpaying for the yogurt, but your yogurt is now not good because you've tried, let me do a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, gummy worms and cookie don't go together.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
So
on top of birthday cake yogurt.
Oh.
But that's what I mean. Jack Taylor, man, we'd go to Sweet Frog all the time and he would destroy it. And he'd be, every time I out-ordered you, because I would just do like they would do like the tart sorbet or whatever. Yeah. And then maybe put a little something on that. But I mean, it was like simple.
Yeah, I would always go with like birthday cake with a little drizzle of hot fudge or something like that. But just like a flavor and then topping and sauce, and that's it.
Yeah. Give me vanilla with some caramel on it.
Yeah. That was a go-to as well.
But this movie always made me hungry, and I think it was because of the ice cream, because the kids are starving. They finally get their meal here in a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Is Wayne Knight still
John
alive?
just needs
I
to-
think so.
We don't want to do away with the park.
Seems
Let's
like it's
just make some
critical to the plot.
revisions here. We know what the
But
safety
we've kinda
protocols
lost him.
need to be now. And, Ellie's giving him a lot of shit right now. The guilt trip with his kids out there or his grandkids.
I mean, I think the easiest change is just no carnivores. Once you do that, you're kind of good because they're not interested in eating anybody.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then your food cost goes down too.
But, are you paying that kind of ticket price if that's all you're getting as the omnivores?
Okay, I guess you can go to the
Or
other
the
dinosaur park.
herbivores, I should say. I guess the omnivore, if it's going to eat any meat, I'd be scared to death.
Yeah. Well, I guess you can just go to that other dinosaur park then.
What is the
Away.
other one?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of have all the leverage there if you're John Hammond.
So do you think there will be a moment in time where we ever replicate the dinosaur?
Yes. I think
really think so?
I think
Do you think
will.
it's been done and we just don't know about it?
Ooh.
I mean,
nah.
if we can classify and keep aliens away from the public as long as people believe, and again, I don't know what's what. I don't know if that's legitimate or not. Some people really believe it is, but I would assume if you can do that, you probably could keep the dinosaur quiet.
I mean, in theory, it's possible because in the 90s you had Dolly the sheep, and then we've gotten to where there's cloning services if your pet passes away, stuff like that. And then I mentioned earlier the dire wolves, which technically aren't true dire wolves like 10,000 years ago DNA dire wolves.
But how big is this wolf? Because wolves
I
are
never
big
thought about
enough to
dinosaurs
begin
sneezing. I guess
bigger.
dinosaurs
It'll be
sneezed.
bigger than a regular wolf.
But I always thought that was so disgusting when the dinosaur sneezes on them in the tree,
Oh yeah.
and they've just got freaking snot head to toe.
What kind of cold are you catching there? The Cretaceous period cold.
Oh, yeah, and that's another thing. Like, would our bodies be able to handle some of the stuff that
I'll read it.
you would
bad
then
news.
be exposed to?
So for anybody curious about the dire wolf, they reached 5 to 6 feet in total length, stood about 3 feet tall at their shoulders, and weighed up to 150 pounds. So not too
not
terribly
massive,
big,
but
but bigger than a regular
Yeah.
wolf.
Still a dog that'll jack you up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you got it. I got to go to the bathroom.
All right.
Knew this was going to happen. You want another water or anything?
I'm okay.
Give me 3 minutes.
You got six
Here we
changed
got
dinosaurs now.
Sam Neill
6
talking
changed
about
dinosaurs.
the West African frogs who can
Little ones.
adapt to change their gender to continue the species. It's pretty cool. Got lots of little dino tracks. LT was right. Jeff Goldblum is clearly doing a bit to see how little clothes he can wear just progressively throughout the movie. Those buttons are flimsy. I also think it's funny that they have no way to check to see what their top computer engineer was doing. That just would not fly today. If there were a real Jurassic Park, there'd be most definitely a keylogger on everybody with access to the computer. Just to make sure you know exactly what they're doing at any time. But I guess here, Nedry is the only one who knows how to do it as quickly as he does. So, sending them into a little bit of frenzy right now. John Hammond's finally asking old Sam Jackson to shut her down. There's one place during a power outage you don't want to be. It's here. It is Jurassic Park.
What I miss?
Well, there was a discussion over getting the power back on and needing Dennis Nedry for the system, and then Jeff Goldblum showed up with even fewer buttons on his shirt. He is just like fully out.
Yeah, you might as well just take it off.
Yeah,
this point,
might as
right?
well. Yep, see, there he is.
Oh yeah, he's all glistened up with the sweat too. So if you look at Spielberg's career overall, like, I mean, I think you agree Jaws
Jaws is number one for me.
Yeah, it's number one for me too. Where would this fall in line?
Either number 2 or number 3, because I would either...
This is better than E.T.
Okay, I was going to say that's
Okay.
Those are the two fighting for number 2, in my opinion.
Yeah, see, I think this is probably number 2. Like, Schindler's List is great. But I don't know if I can put it that high because it's not something you want to go back and see. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's so well done, and I think it's worth a watch for everybody. I think it really, like, a lot of people need to watch that if you haven't seen it. But, you know, Raiders of the Lost Ark, I loved as a kid, but are you a Raiders guy?
I've always been more of a Temple of Doom guy.
Yeah, I as a kid, I liked them, but I just don't think they've held up well. So I think I would definitely go Jaws 1. This would be 2. I mean, Close Encounters is really good, but I mean, what else would be in the mix with Spielberg? Who I don't know. I mean, do people? Do they still say he's the greatest director of all time?
I know some people that do. I don't think he is. I think he's lost his fastball. Catch Me If You Can's great, but wouldn't put it in the same conversation as Jurassic Park and Jaws by any means. It's a fun movie though.
So iconic blockbusters, they list Jaws, Close Encounters, E.T., Jurassic Park, and Disclosure Day. Come on.
Oh, man, you're cheapening the whole list by including that one.
Oh, Saving Private Ryan. I mean,
how did we forget that one?
Yeah, I would go Jaws 1, Saving Private Ryan 2, and then probably Jurassic Park 3. Minority Report, very, very underrated.
Very good, yeah.
Catch Me If You Can, yeah, it's got to be up there. And he has done a lot of good films. Is he the wealthiest director in Hollywood, do you think?
I would assume so because
maybe
of
James Cameron, though, right?
Because of well, that's true. If we're talking top grossing, then James Cameron for sure. But Spielberg signed a lot of deals with, Universal to create Amblin Entertainment, which still makes films today.
Holy shit! How many kids does he have?
Spielberg?
Yeah,
I think he's got a litter.
I mean, according to this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that possible?
Wow.
Yeah, I need to check this out. This is just where they're in the bunker where I would have stayed. Again, this is what sucks about the kids because I mean, sooner or later the cavalry's going to come in, right?
Yep. See. This is admittedly where the movie takes a little bit of a dip for me until that final sequence, but still good.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that the big game hunter is involved here. He doesn't fare too well once he gets out because the Velociraptors start to hunt him, right?
Yep. Old Robert Muldoon.
He's got 6 kids, it says here, according to the wiki, which we all believe in, right?
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen The Color Purple.
I've never seen that one either.
I need to go watch The Color Purple. I'm just looking at some of the other. I never saw AI. I still haven't seen Lincoln, and I do feel I owe it to Brown to see Lincoln after he finally watched Jurassic Park. So I might watch Lincoln tonight. How about that? Make it a Spielberg doubleheader. You don't think I can make it?
You enjoy it. You enjoy it.
Did you not like it?
I never watched it because it just looks like the kind of movie that I would not like. And then if even history nerd Brown couldn't get into it, then
Munich is so
Munich's
underrated.
solid, yeah.
Yeah. Great film from Spielberg. I'm just looking at some of the other things that he has done. We also, well, this is producer. Poltergeist
Mm-hmm.
and Gremlins.
Yep, producer on both of those. And then wrote The Goonies.
Yeah, which is, are they doing a remake or a sequel? Something?
I hear rumors about it every few years, but I haven't seen anything official. They
Yeah.
were talking about it at one point, getting the old cast together, but I think some people were just still adamantly against it because Richard Donner is gone.
Yeah, I guess that would be difficult.
I mean, there's no way you can recapture that energy.
Can you imagine the sprint Laura Dern does here to try to safely make it to the, I don't know what it is, a power shed bunker, but she gets cover from the game warden and just that sprint across, the anxiety involved in that.
Got somebody sprinting across our ceiling right now.
Yeah, I hear that. So I think these shots that you see here are on the island of Hawaii, which again, it's just, you ever had an opportunity to go over?
I have not.
I went last year, the first and only time I've ever been, and it's tremendous. Now the problem is just getting there.
I bet. Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
Because I bet there are some places you could stay where you're kind of cheaping out a little bit. But I imagine like in the main like Waikiki Beach area is just stupid expensive.
Yeah. We were in Maui and, we stayed in two different places and we stayed in Airbnb and then we rented condo and it was kind of the cheap route. So there is a cheaper way to do it. Now, what's going to get you is the cost once you're on the island. Everything's expensive there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I imagine so.
the
Just 'cause
flights.
you got to get everything to the island for them to sell.
Yeah, where the first White Lotus was filmed is on location at the Four Seasons right there in Maui. And I think it's $1,200 a night, which that actually is better than I thought it would be. But to have the ability to stay there would be pretty freaking awesome. So this is, I always thought this was a great scene too, where they're scaling the electrical fence. Like we can't get power back on. And what are the chances the moment they're going to be scaling this fence that they're going to hit this power grid? But they do get forewarning when it starts to fire up a little bit. How confident would you be that you could scale that fence right now?
Scaling the fence, not nearly as confident as just going through this little bunker substation area and getting the power back on.
Right.
I
No,
got
Tim,
that
don't take your time.
easy. Scaling
Don't
a
take your
fence,
time, Tim.
never been my strong suit.
Yeah. I tell you, the little girl though, she's knocking it out. She's leading the pack. Little man, he's having the problem.
Fortunately, there's a
And actually, I don't
complicated
think
step
Little Man
involved
would have
before she
survived
electrocutes everyone.
this scene. Do you?
No, I don't think he would have.
I mean, because if you've got the voltage, and again, I'm not good at equating volts and like what's really high. I just see danger, high voltage, and I believe it is. But if you've got something that is powerful enough to keep the T-Rex at bay,
Right.
yeah, it packs quite the punch. And I was surprised John Hammond knew as much as he does. He's sitting here coaching. Like the billionaire is not going to know the ins and outs.
No. They're writing the check and, finding
Yeah,
a
hurry,
nice
Tim.
balcony to look at the dinosaurs and eat their nice steak at.
Yeah, and my ass would have had the private jet already flown in. We'd be out of there.
Yeah.
Everybody on board. But yeah, he's able to walk Laura Dern's character right through it. And he's got like the damn instruction manual. I guess at this point they just assume Dennis is dead, right?
I guess so, but they've got everything properly labeled.
Yeah, they do.
Labeled very
Go
nicely.
catch him.
The organization, I will give them an A+ on that. I guess you would need it though. And conveniently, the last button that they're going to hit is the perimeter fence that he is on.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah, young Timmy's about to get the shock of his life. And what a catch by Dr.
Yeah.
Grant, you know? Just softening the blow there. But yeah, young Timmy would have been dead.
What's the worst shock you've ever gotten?
Fortunately, I've not really been shocked.
Okay.
You know, just a minimal, touching a socket or something. You? Anything bad?
Nothing too bad, but one time in high school, I was covering a football game for the broadcast team, and the way we did the broadcast in high school is I would run video, and then there was a local radio station that would come to the games and do like an audio broadcast, and so I would just grab one of their cords and plug it into my machine. So I had video and audio, and if you were just driving around, you could do audio, but that being said, they brought a little portable antenna one day, and one day I was reaching around, plugging everything in, and it shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah, that's
knocked me backwards.
That's a terrible, terrible
Whose
feeling.
arm was that? Was that Wayne
And I
Knight's
felt
arm?
it from my pinky up to my elbow. It was so
what's
strange.
I had a vivid dream the other night that I was on death row.
Or was it the accountant?
Literally
the
dead
attorney.
man
Was it the
walking.
attorney's arm or Wayne Knight's arm?
Yeah, and
We should have arm in there.
and it's one of those
Random
dreams
arm.
where you try to wake yourself up and you're
Yeah.
like, oh shit, this is real. Like I'm not waking up. And I really don't know what happened. I ended up not getting in the chair, but I was walking to the chair, which was really, really eerie and weird. Yeah.
You have the strangest dreams
I do,
of everybody I know.
Yeah. A lot of pack trauma up there, Tyler. Probably from watching movies like this when I was way too young.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I do love the precision and the skill of the warden here, where he has got one raptor locked in, but then he realizes,
Second raptor.
I'm done.
Clever girl. Such a good
Oh,
one.
now we got a
I
snake.
love that one.
Yep. And what do you think would get you first, the teeth of the raptor or those claws?
Ooh, I think that's up to the raptor.
That's a great shot too. Look, with the anaconda that comes with the raptor still sitting in place, just watching how, partner in crime was able to take out dude and the anaconda just slithers up on it. Would you be able to do the mouth-to-mouth chest compressions to bring somebody back?
I don't know if I remember how to do it. I think it's
Staying alive, right? From the office?
that's it. It's the beat is staying alive, and I think it's 30 compressions and then 2 rescue breaths and then 30 compressions. I don't know.
Yeah, I
don't trust myself to do
We've
it.
got a defibrillator here, so let's just remember if anybody goes out, let's just pull it off the wall, plug it in, and let it do its thing. 007 was able to come back in Casino Royale with it, right?
Yeah.
So they are back to the main, what do we call this? The main visitor center.
Yeah, the visitor center, the lobby. Looks like they're in a dining room area now.
Yeah, they're about to get to eat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is like the big moment for them, finding food. That is something, man. When you've gone never been in that situation where you're stranded somewhere for a day plus. But man, eating for the first time after going a long time without a meal. Of course, that stomach starts to shrink, and you can't eat a ton.
Yeah. Now, I remember one time my friends and I went white water rafting when we went on a soccer tournament. And
By the way, kids are even eating vegetables in this one. Shows you how hungry they are.
just anything. But, they gravitated towards the cakes first.
Dude, he looks like he's a UFC fighter. He's got cauliflower
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I never noticed that. Young
Never
Timmy
noticed
from
that.
getting blown. Now the jello's shaking. Another good scene there, so you can tell something is coming. And it actually is the raptors on the hunt. How are the kids always the crafty ones that are able to get away when in reality, there's no chance, right?
Yeah,
I gotta have a bathroom break.
I think movies often like to portray kids as craftier than they are and adults as dumber than they are.
This is when Spielberg had such an eye. Like even this little scene here where you just get the snort of, the breath of the raptor.
And then you see his eye
looking in. Ooh. Like these are just subtle geniuses of Spielberg, or the subtle genius of Spielberg, I should say.
Yeah, most directors are going to try to go too big. And Spielberg understands that sometimes it's just those little moments that really sell the movie.
Yeah, it's anybody who doesn't believe the raptor can open the door. Chili, my Vizsla can open doors now. I don't know what we're going to have to do about Chili. I need to put a perimeter up for Chili, I think. She has become a raptor. I'll tell you, and they act like Vizsla's, their movements and everything. Mm-hmm. And when you get two together, it is very, it's very Jurassic Park like. It definitely reminds me of these two when they're running around together, because all they're doing is looking for food, just chaos and food. They don't give a shit. Like the wake they leave. There they are.
Now, these raptors, I don't think look as good as some of the other ones in the film. But
no, I would agree. Again, I knew nothing about the raptor coming into this movie, but I think if you ask people their favorite dinosaurs now, they probably say velociraptors. And I don't know if they did a good job of capturing the raptor. Like all of the old T-Rexes that you saw as a kid, I mean, that's what this looked like, and like the scale and everything. But I just really never knew anything about the raptor. I've never really gone back and done any research, so I don't know how accurate the raptors are. They're terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, going back to one of your favorite comedy movies, Step Brothers, there is that point where Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly are getting to know each other. And it's like, all right, on 3, what's your favorite dinosaur? Velociraptor.
I saw the trailer for Matchbox today.
Oh, yeah?
John Cena.
Yes, yeah.
Again, I don't know why you take some of these concepts, whether it was Battleship, when Taylor Kitsch did that. I never saw it, never would. I would never watch
Rihanna was in that too.
This John Cena one that Jessica Biel's in it.
Wow. What a pull for the Matchbox movie.
And they try to feed off of the people that believe John Cena's got really good comedic timing. There's a couple of jokes in the trailer.
As far as the WWE wrestlers go, he's one of the top guys,
right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think there are certain roles that he can pull off. I don't know if he can carry a movie. Well, I guess he can. It's Matchbox.
Oh, yeah. I think best John Cena I've seen was in the show Peacemaker from James Gunn.
This, again, is great filmmaking right here.
Oh, yeah.
Where the raptor attacks the reflection of the two kids, and it just stuns it just enough where they're able to escape. Very, very tense moment. Probably the most intense moments of the film are the two kids trying to avoid the two raptors where, again, zero chance they're able to elude. But for the summer blockbuster, I don't think it probably would have tested as well with the audiences if both kids get torn to pieces.
Yeah, I don't think so. And,
I think James Cameron probably had them going down, right?
James Cameron would have them going down. They wouldn't have gotten past the flashlight scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kudos to these two child actors. Normally, when you take a movie with some serious action scenes, the child actors bring it down. But in this one, they enhance the film.
No, you're right. They do a really, really good job of just... the acting isn't necessarily there, but it's just more of panic-stricken the whole time. Yeah. But they do a really good job of having that dialed in, and it's
just selling the terror.
Very, very believable. I forgot how Laura Dern got her limp. Everybody's got a limp.
They know how to open doors.
Yep.
They know how to open doors.
It's a good question. Did she roll her ankle or something? I forget.
I don't think Sam Neill is going to hold
fight
the
scene
door
where
closed against the
opening the door, Dr.
Velociraptor.
Grant's trying to hold tight. Like, again, I don't think
Velociraptors can operate doorknobs, but
if they could, his ass is busting through. They're all going down. And, of course, the kid, they are going to be more computer savvy than the adults here. And the young girl here knows how to work this particular computer system.
what a terrible interface for that system, too. It's like, yes, we're going to navigate through this maze of files to select the one.
Are you
I
good
want.
at? Do you have computer skills?
I've got some. I wouldn't say I could operate this Unix system.
You're not going to be coding anytime soon.
No,
right?
no. I took coding in high school, and I quickly realized that
That's an art, right?
to be a programmer, it requires a much greater attention to detail and a level of meticulousness that I just don't have.
Well, is it almost like an instrument? Like, is there a natural ability to it? Like, you have to see it?
Yeah, I would say so. Some people can just almost read it like they're Neo from the Matrix. But yeah, if you miss out on like a semicolon here, an exclamation point there, the whole thing doesn't work. And then you got to go through each line and find out where it doesn't work.
I think before they secured this system, I think if I was Grant, I probably would have tapped out and just realized that everybody's about to go down in this room because there is no chance I'm going to be able to hold this door. And there is no chance this 10-year-old little girl is going to be able to figure out this system to secure it. So now they are finally calling the mainland. I would have had the helicopters already there, right?
Yeah. I feel like if you're doing this promotional tour for the opening of your park or to open your park and get the okay on it, a good safety feature would be, hey, we can get out whenever. We do have the helicopters on standby.
I love this scene too. So they've kicked the ladder. The Raptors have broken through the glass. They've climbed the ladder into the ventilation. And I think what is great is when the Raptors realize where they are, like this jumping sequence,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes so close to being able to reach them. And I think it's actually when the girl falls, does she not? And she's like dangling.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I had briefly confused that with
Raptors got a damn good vertical.
Yeah.
Dr. Grant kicks it in the face. I'd be a little skeptical about kicking a raptor in the face, too.
Yeah, it is a much better raptor kick to the face than there is in Lost World. I brought it up earlier today where you got the little girl who's like hanging on from a pipe, and she's a gymnast, and she like flips around and gym kicks the raptor in the mouth.
So this is, kind of the conclusion where the Raptors have got them cornered. Spielberg, I think he fell into this. So the way they were going to have the demise of the Raptors here is they were going to have this massive skeleton fall, this display, and crush the Raptors.
Okay.
Spielberg thought that they hadn't had enough T-Rex sequence in the movie. And he's like, the audience is going to kill me if they don't see the T-Rex one more time. But it makes much more sense for the T-Rex to come back in this scene than just a bunch of bones to fall and crush these things, right?
Yeah. If they got killed by the falling skeleton, it would feel a little too Deus Ex Machina for me. And I mean, again, this is a movie about a dinosaur theme park, but
this is that moment when you're watching it for the first time, you're like, they can't, like, they've gotten out of every scenario. Now they literally, they are cornered by these two velociraptors. They have no out. There's nobody that's going to save them. And then you're like, you know what? I forgot there's a T-Rex what a snag by the T-Rex. Full extension from the velociraptor. And as tough as the Raptors were, it shows you how badass the T-Rex was, right?
yeah.
Just flinging them off. Everybody's able to escape because obviously the T-Rex's attention is being taken right now as he is destroying both of the raptors.
Sam Neill with a great line there. After careful consideration, I will not
endorse this park.
I will not be endorsing your park.
Yeah, like, and remind me when we get to Jurassic 2, was there ever, like, how they had to revisit the island, clean it up? Like, I don't remember any of that. Like, the aftermath of Jurassic Park.
I believe that there's a new head of the engine corporation that wants to, like, reboot it. And then, or I might be confusing it with another movie, but there's one movie where they try to, like, reboot the park and try to get it back operational again. And then another one where it's just, like, abandoned. And I think that one's Lost World. I can't remember, though.
So Richard Attenborough, John Hammond here, staring out before he gets on the helicopter, his last glimpse at his theme park that wasn't to be. What he's got to realize is, look, you were able to replicate the dinosaur. You did get some people killed, but you still got your billions of dollars. I say that. What would the liability be for the families of these people that were involved? A lot?
I imagine a lot.
Yeah. I don't know what their HR department looks like, though, at Jurassic Park.
Ooh, probably non-existent at this point in time, but legal department, very, very stacked.
Very nice helicopter they escaped the island on. And I think there was something about, in the original novel, about the pterodactyl maybe getting off the island.
I think so, yeah.
Like instead of the Barbasol can where it, leaves, the door kind of open to maybe a sequel, I think it was the pterodactyl. And I think that's what they're kind of showing. Maybe Spielberg, little homage to the pterodactyl. He's showing the evolution of the bird and how it's flying off the island. Because I remember when I initially saw it, I was like, well, damn, they didn't show any pterodactyls, but if they got them, they can leave this island. So that's it. The 1993 classic Jurassic Park. For you and I both, probably top 25 movie. Definitely a top 3 or 4 for Spielberg. And one of the great summer blockbusters of all time.
Definitely.
So the movie's over. Again, that was the first time I've ever watched Jurassic Park. Just for the way the movie started, I thought it was going to be way more about Wayne Knight and trying to keep him from getting off the island with a Barbasol can. Like, nobody knew about that except for him, and it gets buried under the mud when he dies, which it wasn't clear to me that he died. I guess I should have assumed that, but Wayne Knight, gets killed in that Jeep. I didn't realize it was going to be so much about, like, them avoiding getting attacked by dinosaurs, which I know sounds pretty obvious when you're on an island with dinosaurs. I thought it was going to be more about them trying to stop Wayne Knight when you see that early scene there. So I guess I was kind of expecting more of that than the avoiding dinosaur attacks. All in all, obviously a good movie. I liked it. Didn't love it, but liked it. If I was thumbing through the channels and that's on, I probably wouldn't stop and watch it again. But, good flick, good solid flick. So I've now been able to check this one off. I've seen Jurassic Park. So all you people that are going to me about not seeing Jurassic Park in the chat during the show and on Twitter, I've seen Jurassic Park now. So I hope you're all happy. I am. I've enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, so there you go. Like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Let us know what you think about this screening of Jurassic Park. And I don't know what direction we'll go next. It'll either be a regular next reel where we'll, talk about what we've been watching and we'll have a list, or we'll get back into another feature film. This is, these are fun. Get to learn a lot and, get to rewatch.
Yep, always a fun time getting to go back through these movies, learn a little bit more about the production, and just enjoy it with you guys that like to watch us watch movies.
Well, like, subscribe, give us that thumbs up. We would appreciate that. And give us your feedback. It's The Next Reel. Whatever you're watching this week, enjoy it. We will see you again next week right here on The Next Reel.